Okay, good morning. My name is Laís de Oliveira. Bom dia para quem fala português. Well, we are here starting our third session of today. We have 8 startups pitching from all industries of startups participating here at Web Summit. And these are the best selected startups of all this conference, and they will be going to the quarter or finals after here. So we'll be choosing one champion, and to do this, we have 4 amazing judges in here, selected from our crowd of speakers, mentors, partners, and so on. And I'll be glad to welcome on stage first, Nora Oravets from, I would like to introduce yourself later. Okay, David Meltzer, Matthew DeJesus, and Eyal Mellinger. And we, with no further ado, will be welcoming on stage startups. They will be pitching for 3 minutes, and they'll be having 3 minutes Q&A. So we'll be sharp on time. 3 minutes, guys. I'm going to cut you gently if you pass on time because we are just a little bit delayed. And with no further ado, I'd like to welcome our first startup on stage, CodeZero with Amano. Welcome on stage.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hi, good day. We are CodeZero from Malaysia, and we made a new form of digital business card. Business cards are important. It represents you and your company. In Asia Pacific, there are more than 1.8 billion employees, with 90% of white-collar workers still using traditional business cards in this digital age. So that's billions and billions of cards printed every year. That's a huge market to disrupt. But there's a crazy amount of waste in this practice. Surveys show that 15 trees are cut every single minute to print business card. Yet, 92% of collected business cards are thrown away within a week, which is worth $34 billion wasted every year globally. Not only that, 7 out of 10 times we don't have cards available when we need it. Even if the cards are exchanged, that is a bigger problem. 93% of collected business cards never reach a company's database. So all these data clearly show that traditional business cards are outdated and ineffective. To solve this problem, we created Zero Brand Card, a fully digitized social platform that lets you exchange customizable cards. Your cards serve as a microsite that can present so much more than a regular 8x5 centimeter paper business card. Your employee card is made by your company, so all the information is centralized, verified, updated in real time, and all the collected data will be encrypted for your company access only. You may switch to your personal card anytime, set apart your business and personal identity, yet manage both under one single platform. Share your post updates, comments, and stay engaged with your community through our social feed. And lastly, you may view ads and earn Zen points in a rewarding ecosystem. We have 2 main ways to earn revenue. The first is through tiered subscription from corporates, and the second is through advertising. We target companies in the media and advertising industry, and our goal is 100 million users in 6 years, which gives us projected revenue of $4.5 billion. Although we are in beta release right now, we already have more than 100 companies that pledge to use our platform, bringing us 25,000 users on board once we launch. And Steve and I have more than 35 years of entrepreneur experience in production and advertising. We are passionate enough to create a platform that is aesthetic, moving towards the new age of advertising and marketing where impressions matter. And Mr. Lai, our business development manager, and the team has more than 10 years of experience in technology development and distribution. This is a common sight at any event. Imagine there are more than 20,000 people at Web Summit. How many business cards will go to waste? Let's stop paper business cards and start from zero. Thank you.
How does it integrate with the PIM applications on your phone or your laptop? The personal information management systems, how is it integrating? Once I get your card, is it effectively go right into my database?
Yeah, once you exchange the cards will go to your company database for the corporate user. If it's a personal user, then it will store in the cloud for your personal account.
So it's a simple upload.
Yeah.
Are you active on social media?
Sorry?
Are you active on social media?
Are we active on social media? Okay, we started these products, these apps, from the mindset of creating a brand new branding platforms for the company to use and media and advertising agency. Then, of course, when we realized that when the function is only to exchange cards, that is very limited to further the engagement of the community of the users. So that is why we also come up with the social medias to have the further engagement on that.
Okay, and which sites, which platforms you use?
We are having our own platforms in the same.
Okay, but you are not using outside social.
No.
Okay. Are you sure that's a good idea?
Oh yeah, but because we wanted to create something different, where right now, if we are talking about as other things like LinkedIn or Facebook, they do not have the initial context of a card to send out to somebody that you meet up in any event or in your daily life. So that is why we combine a card and also a social media in a single platform itself.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to understand is if you are active on social media as a brand.
Active.
Active, like are you using social media to
I
promote
am.
yourself?
Yeah,
That's what
we
I'm
do.
trying to
Yeah,
ask. Yeah,
sorry
yeah.
that I didn't get that. Okay. Yep. So for those who exchange the cards, that is, they would like to let the other person in their network to know what are their daily activities are. So that is why they can use the social media to post what are their daily activities are. And wherever there is a changes in their brand cards, it will have automated auto updates on their positions or even on their names, or if they switch their company, then whoever in my circle of network, I will have to ever get the news of it.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right.
How have you managed regulations such as GDPR for the privacy issues on your contacts?
All right. So far, the the data that we're going to collect from all the users is only on their mobile phones, email, and their name. And all of those are only can be accessible by the user itself with their login. Then we do not have any access to it. So for company-wise, whenever they create accounts in the clouds, there will be an instance assigned to them. So it will be fully encrypted.
Okay. Sorry guys, we're out of time. Thank you very much, judges, for the questions. And thank you, CodeZero. And please, a round of applause to Wagawin. Woo! Wagawin, just because it made some weird noise. This is mine.
Hi, I'm Nico from Wagawin, a technology company based in Munich, Germany. So I assume that everyone here has a smartphone in his pocket, and like it or not, you are a desired target for mobile advertisers. But obviously you are all smart and you know how to avoid ads, because you will not click on an ad in more than 99% of all cases. And that means that an industry that spends billions of dollars every month on mobile ads does not get any information about you, which is a problem for them, obviously. And they all end up with really low performance when it comes to mobile advertising. And that's where Wagawin comes into play. We let you interact with ads on your mobile device. For instance, in between an article in your favorite newspaper app. We call it living ads. You can chat with the advertiser. You can rate his videos like you rate Facebook Live videos. Or you can swipe his product like you swipe people on Tinder, some of you maybe. So all this gives us lots of information, additional information about the user. So through the interaction, we get their awareness, we collect lots of information about their interests, and we are able to multiply the ROI of our advertisers many times over. And interaction are one of the most valuable information that you can get as an advertiser. Why? Because they are super honest, right? And through this information, we can leverage on way more data points. If you would rely only on clicks, you have a small amount of data that you can optimize your campaigns on. So keeping it short, we position ourselves between the pure ad impression and the click, by making transparent what happens in between. We work with dozens of advertisers all around the globe, Audi, Deutsche Telekom, Indosat, just to name a few. And they work with us in two ways, either on a managed service approach where we execute everything for them and we earn our margin in between, or we just work on a self-service model, our SaaS model. We just launched this a few weeks ago, and we see lots of traction coming from there. The whole technology was launched summer 2017. This year we'll end up with a revenue of around $1 million. We have more than 60 clients at the moment and a team consisting of 20 people. Besides me, there are two more co-founders. One is Andreas, who is an expert when it comes to ad tech product ideas, and Dominic, who is a highly experienced software developer. That's it. Thank you. Thank you.
So where exactly your technology integrates? So what exactly does it do? If I'm an advertiser, do you provide the technology to serve the ad, or is it more of an interactive ad that you're creating?
So we have a system where you as an advertiser, you just upload your assets, and within a fraction of time you will have an interactive ad. You just let us know which kind of data you want to have. Let's say you're an automotive company, you want to understand if your target audience is more into the blue or into the red car, but you don't want to rely on clicks. You upload your video or your banners, we turn them into a living ad, and you can display it wherever you want.
So your model is more of an agency model. You're not creating the technology to drive
No,
it itself.
the agency model is the managed service approach I was mentioning, and the technology approach, our SaaS model, is where you can upload, you get the ad, and you run it, for instance, on a DSP programmatically. Right. So you are in charge of the execution. We'll share the data with you through an API, and you get the live data and do whatever you want with it.
Are you selective at the moment on the advertisers you work with?
If you are selective?
Are you selective?
Yeah, we focus on B2C advertisers. We are not working with B2B advertisers.
Okay, and you mentioned about screening the interaction. Is
Yes.
that done on your side, or
Yes.
is it done on the brand side?
Yeah, we measure the interaction, we clean them up, we interpret them, and we send them back to the advertiser. There are more sophisticated advertisers that are able to work on an API base and work live on the data. Others, they are happy if we just share a report with them where they have fancy like graphs and some diagrams.
Thank you.
If you're going to go to the SaaS model, what type of training are you giving in order to effectuate the...
Good question. So we have our own yield management team, which also executes on managed service, and we send those yield managers to the agencies and the advertisers, and they give training with our software. So they show them how to generate the tag, how to understand the data, how to leverage on that. So with Omnicom or Group M, all the trading desks, they get trainings from our yield management team.
Anything else you'd like us to know?
Sorry?
Anything else you'd like us to know?
Yeah, any advice? What can we do better?
I talk about the scaling of it. I mean, obviously you have good early success. So if you could talk about more in the training side, what it's going to take to scale the SaaS model, because obviously that can scale a lot easier than the managed
That's the purpose why we have it.
So it's still, you had an extra minute, and I would have suggested getting into detail about scaling it up to $10, $20 million.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
And I'd start preparing a few case studies on your customer side, on your brand side as well, so you have those proof points to go and it's easier to sell.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. In perfect timing. Next startup, welcome on stage, Stacker.
So we're still building tech products in the same way that we did back in the 90s. Now, sure, we've upgraded our languages and our frameworks, but still fundamentally, it comes down to this. To a developer sitting down and writing some code. And that made sense back in the 90s when this is what a product team looked like. But product teams have changed. Product teams now look something like this. Or even sometimes like this. But still, when it comes down to it, the creating of the actual product has to go through a developer sitting down writing code. also since the 90s, we've really evolved the way that we think about products and the way we build them. We've worked out that things like scrolling marquees aren't a great idea, but we've also learned a bunch of things which do work. And so now lots of the tech products we use are built from the same features over and over again. So like social and news feeds, messaging platforms where users can message back and forth, and even login screens. We have all these elements repeated again and again. So building tech products myself and leading teams doing so, I've been thinking, why are we doing the same thing again? Why are we building these features that are repeated hundreds of times already? And why, given that we have such varied and talented product teams, does it all come down to the developer to actually do it? So we built a platform which allows you to create apps in your browser without code. So that means anyone within a product team, entrepreneurs, can build something that works. And we've taken those features like login and messaging and create them as pre-made features that you can install into your app in one click. So you can start with a blank canvas, allow your users to log in, create a profile, install something which allows them to list products or images, let them talk to each other and message each other, and then install a search module, and you have really quickly a working app that you can launch today. So this is great for entrepreneurs because it means they can get started and test their ideas and run their business really quickly. And because all of our blocks are made of smaller blocks, the whole team can collaborate in building. So, for instance, the designer can use our drag and drop UI builder to create the interface for your app. The developers can connect to external data sources and help design the data model. And the product managers can create the workflow, modify it, and change how the whole app works, all in their browser, all without code. So this is really great because it can happen a lot faster. And because we can use the whole dev team, or even do it without developers, it's a lot cheaper. And building apps has never been more expensive. Estimates for just a V1 of a product come to $170,000. And not only is the global software, global software spend, and even just the spend in the US, $500 billion, that is growing at an incredible rate. Our clients currently have built apps as varied as a fact-checking app to fight misinformation in Brazil, a crowdfunding platform which lets people pledge time instead of money for charities and volunteering, and a social network for fashion students to list their profiles and get found, all produced by founders without code using our platform. We're really excited to find out what happens when we allow everyone, not just developers, to be able to create interactive, meaningful apps. And we're really excited to find out what can be built when we give that power to everyone. Thanks.
Okay, so I'm a female person who often builds websites on Squarespace. Is it something that has templates that helps me to be creative? Because I'm not that creative when it comes to building stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's great.
And because a lot of apps are quite, just like Squarespace templates, quite similar, but you want to differ the theme and also what you're using it for, the business case, we let you get started with, you want a marketplace for lending, don't care what it's lending, you can start with that in 30 seconds and have a working app from day one.
And how many users do you have who actually tried it?
So we've got 500 people signed up, and of those, there are about 10% have launched apps that they've got their own users and are running their business through it, and other people building up through that.
Thank you so much.
How are you expecting to monetize this?
So it is a subscription platform. So we both give you the tools to build and also to host the app. So there's no servers involved or anything. So you continue to pay a subscription fee. So we both have the raw platform as it is, and also the option for developed content, like more installable features, like premium templates that people can get started with. And we're already working on a model where developers in the community can contribute their own templates into a marketplace. So really, we have two values that we provide, both a technology platform and all this content of pre-made stuff so you can get started really quickly.
So the whole low code and no code are things that have been around for quite a few years now. How do you differentiate against the competition, and who do you think are the main competitors for this product?
Yeah, so there are some really, really good web builders like Squarespace, like Wix, which are really just for static sites, like landing pages, and that have been in the past low-code app development platforms. But the problem is that what they give you is, if you want to, for instance, if we took an analogy of building a house, they give you, instead of hammers and saws, they give you power tools. And it's great, you've got a set of power tools, but with a set of power tools, you can't build a house. What you really want to do is say, oh, I want a kitchen, a bathroom, 2 bedrooms, and then I want to change how the kitchen works, change how they're put together. So previous platforms, I think, have really been just tools to help you create, but you still need to think like a developer. You still need to know what you're doing. You still need to really have all the creative thoughts required. The difference that we do is package these things up into installable features, into working apps that you can combine to make something that's actually usable, within less than a day.
Gotcha. Thanks.
If I heard you correctly, 90% of the people utilizing the solution haven't launched an app yet. Does it take long? How come they haven't launched?
So we launched just about 20 days ago. So people are in the process of building, and this is also building not just their app but their business. And there are more parts to something than just the creation of an app. So I think we're pretty happy with the fact that we've got these people on. Some of the apps.
20 days.
Some of these apps have been featured in national newspapers like The Guardian. So the people who are using it are creating real apps that they're getting real value
All right.
from.
Thank you very much, Acker. Thank you all the judges for the questions. And welcome on stage, Orion.
Hi. So my name is Alex. At Web Summit, we have a wonderful gathering of people coming from everywhere in the world. And I believe that we share common problems. And one of these problems is transportation. Traffic jam, parking problems, things like this. And yet we have a solution, and we discovered it 5,000 years ago. So yeah, it's kind of messy like this, but if you think about it, we had an autonomous, adaptive, and eco-friendly vehicle 5,000 years ago. So what happened since? Simply, the mandatory of the 5-seater car used by one person each day had made transportation nightmarish and parking headache everywhere. In big cities, in new city, even beyond new network system, have difficulties to allow people to transport simply. So if we get back at the flexibility we have in a horse, today we are just like this. So yeah, it can be funny, but it's not, because this kind of things bring us to this. Basically, because we're all taking place of 5 people when we are all alone in our car, we create ourselves traffic jams and parking headache everywhere, in small city, big city, everywhere. So does the autonomous car could solve part of the problem? Yes, it promises to improve the life in a car, but we hope to reduce the time we spend there by shorter the time we are stuck in traffic jam and so ever. So what can we do it? It's simple. We don't know how to build cars, but we know how to fix problems. So to fix this problem, we need to build a car. And this is the difference between how and why. Oh God, we'll lose color here, but this is a car, a single-seated car. So how does it change of a smart or something like this? It's simple. You just think about a horse. When you take 2 horses aside, you have a 2-seat vehicle. And it is the same, because this vehicle can pair from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, whatever. You can pair a large number of vehicles, depending on the legislation, but technically, virtually 100 if you want. So how it works? simply, when you are aside another vehicle, you just paired to our mobile app to your friend's vehicle or on-service vehicle, and you just get a two-seat vehicle. It's a lot of vehicles, sorry. This is a lot of feature of a modern vehicle, think for modern way of transportation. Yes, sorry, it's a Q&A, so this is us and so ever. So, if you have questions, sorry.
To allow you to continue a little bit, I'm confused on the what. So your device allows users to find a comparable seated vehicle by how many people you have?
Actually, we are in a design stage. So it's just a prototype built on computer because we are just three of us. So we don't have the resource to make a real vehicle. We know how to build software, so that's why we developed already the mobile app. We have done all the computer stuff, but we are still just three of us and we are small. So we need partners, we need help to bring this idea to life. But for the moment, we just take survey online, but mostly in China, and we have some very good insight on it.
Sorry, I have no understanding of what you do. So it's been 2.5 minutes, and I really don't know. Are you selling a car? Are you? What is it?
Sorry, I missed my
Take 30 seconds to explain to us what it is you do.
All right. So basically, we have problem of transportation in our modern city. So we fixed it by creating a smaller car that you can pair with other cars, as is your friend's car. Basically.
So you're building a car.
Yeah, exactly. So if you go to I don't know, somewhere with your wife, your child, or whatsoever, you just have to pair one car if you are two, and pair, I don't know, if you have two children, it's a 4 car if you are 4, and this way you can adapt your vehicle to your need.
So it's like Lego cars on steroids.
Yeah, something like this,
okay.
But...
So what's the maximum capacity of your vehicle pairing?
Technically, you can build a real bus on the highway or something like this, but the legislation keep us under 9, if I remember correctly, in Portugal, but it's depending on the legislation, sorry.
Okay.
I checked out your website. Do you have any prices for the one that I could see on the screen?
Sorry, can you repeat?
So do you know how much would it cost for someone to make this car?
Oh, yeah, sorry. So we asked a lot of partners for the glass on the outside, the ink screen inside, and so ever. So we have a minute cost of 10,000 euros to build it. And since we are selling a unique vehicle, it's like a ferry. You can miss it on the road. It's high priced for the first years of commercialization.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
How long do you think it will take to build? I know you're relying a lot on partners, but what's your expected build time?
Yeah, so we are project managers, so we have done all the planning already, and it will take 1 year to move from ID stage today to MVP that can be tested on the real world. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And I would advise the startups to stay here to get some more advice from the judges after this. And welcome on stage, OCL.
This is my clicker. So know your customer is something that everybody struggles with, and the reason they struggle with it is because they're doing it wrong. They do it based on identity, and that's turned out to be an absolute disaster in today's world. When the reality is, in most cases, to know someone, you only need to know their status, not their identity. And at OCL, we've developed a technology called ports, which is all about status. So we allow for third parties who can write a truth, give that truth to an end user that can then go out in the world and speak it to another third party with security and anonymity. And this truth of status could be anything from the fact that you're a human and not a bot, or that you have some specific age, or maybe you have some level of exclusivity. Ports is a protocol. It has a server-side component, and together they can verify all sorts of different types of status in a single solution. There's also a Ports app for end users, and it can be built into other applications as well. It's fast, it's accessible, and it can even secure and lock and unlock QR codes. Now, over the next 12 months, we are going to release a lot of different types of status verification, but the one I want to talk about today is the base one, which is I am human, which I call the CAPTCHA-ReCAPTCHA killer. Now, why would I want to destroy something that we all love to deal with every single day, which is CAPTCHA and ReCAPTCHA? Because it's essentially garbage. It's garbage that watches us everywhere we go. It spies on us. It's on millions of sites. It's hostile to our privacy. There's no opting out of it. You can't get out of it. And traditional CAPTCHA systems are just bad for business. So let's kill CAPTCHA. But if you're going to verify someone's human, why would you just stop at human? Let's go further. Let's give you a solution that can verify all these types of things, but with privacy. So we can do the same things we need CAPTCHA to do, but do it in a way that's less invasive into our lives, doesn't scrape our data, but also has a privacy policy that does not read like a book. It reads like a postage stamp. So Human is free. It's already been licensed by a company that has over 42 billion yearly visitors. We have agreements in place for other pieces of our technology with other well-known companies. Revenue, we make money by licensing our technology, but we also have things that end users can buy, like status verification of their age, or that might be even exclusivity, so someone can author a truth and give it to you, and then you can speak it around the web. Our management team is highly skilled, group of individuals with a lot of legends on board, 9 additional team members around the world. Ports is privacy. It's about status, not identity. It's about not just knowing your customer, but knowing your service. It's all about zero data exploitation and no profiling or tracking. That's it. Our CEO, Serge.
Hello. Hi. So who is your targeted customer right now?
The target customer really is developers and websites. As Alan explained, I think the base thing that we want to replace is CAPTCHA. It means there are about 4 million sites in the world that today are essentially creating roadblocks for users. You want to verify you're human, it's going to take you 30 seconds at best. With our solution, you just go in, and the best thing about it is you don't have to share any data. The small secret that Google doesn't really share with you is when you do reCAPTCHA, they harvest, of course, tons of data on you. We get rid of all of this.
So are you using zero-knowledge proofs for this?
Sorry?
Are you using zero-knowledge proofs for this, or is it?
Well, there is an element of authority. We rely on the concept of authority, but once that is ascribed to someone, there is no record of that anywhere.
So from a user perspective, I understand, the great thing about CAPTCHA is, as a user, I don't need anything I just need to click something.
Yeah.
How does it work from my perspective? I go to the website, how do you know that I'm human?
So when you go to the website and you don't necessarily have the app, you have to download the app. It's a minute process and you're done.
So 1 minute versus 30 seconds, like why would I want to download the app?
For the first time, and then after that, it's less than 5 seconds.
So you're compelling me to download an app?
That is going to be starting to prove you're human, but in the UK, for example, you have a law that just passed through that requires you to prove your age when you want to do certain things that only an adult can do.
Yeah.
There are many ways to do this. Use your credit card, use your social media profile. All of this are data invasive. So we've set up a system that allows you to prove that you are over 18, that also will prove that you're human. So we start with human because the basic, actually it's a human right you should have. It should be free, and from then we build on. As Alan said, we can build all sorts of different bits of statuses that you can prove. So 1 app, 1 minute for several things.
What are the first 3 sectors that you're going to be targeting?
So we started with the adult industry because legally in the UK and certainly in Germany and France is setting up a law, there is an element of age verification that is required. We plan to replace data as a whole overall across many industries to start with that. We backtracked a little bit by saying, actually, if you think about it, status of age is one thing, but there's one thing that we should all be able to do, which is to prove we're human. So actually, if you think about it, the web is our framework. I go back to Tim Berners-Lee's speech yesterday. We offer something in that respect, but without complication, without friction. And then further down the line, we're looking at music. Alan alluded to some of the people we're dealing with, Warner's, Sony, et cetera. We're going to be setting up a licensing as a service solution that allows you, because you already have the right to do something, to then take content and use it on pretty much any service.
So what stops Captcha from doing exactly this? If they already have other clients, they can just build an app and tell people to install it.
Because CAPTCHA's, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, because CAPTCHA is based on taking your data and making it, using AI to analyze whether or not you're human based on a profile of everywhere you go and everything you do. Why do you want to do that? Why do you want Google to have that information about you? I don't. I'm done with this. I don't want to be profiled. I don't want to be tracked. I don't want to be followed everywhere I go. I don't want to have that shirt that I never want to buy follow me everywhere I go. I just want to get in the site. I don't want to have to share any data.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And moving on, Slidr, welcome on stage.
Is it working? Yeah, thank you. So, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let me start by saying that most of you would like to get the latest tech and lifestyle products the minute they hit the shelf, lower than retail market price. The latest Samsung 9, iPhone X, Bose headphone, Nespresso machine, drone, etc. And you think that is impossible. Well, welcome to Slidr. It's about to change the way you look at online shopping. Slidr is a dynamic pricing technology that allows the retailer to do price disruption, allowing its customer to buy at prices lower than retail, while the retailer is still making more money and more volume. This is not a dream. Actually, we've been operational in the UK for the last 12 months. We have 160 brands on board. Let me put that in a more visual perspective in an easier way. You go to the e-commerce platform, you see the products you like, you see the retail market price, and underneath it is a slider. So underneath this slider is the price at which we're willing to give you this product at. But before you slide, we give you two guarantees. The price you're going to get is definitely lower than the retail market price, but you don't know by how much. And if you like the price, you get it on the spot. You can buy it, go to checkout, and that's it. So how would you do that? Basically, what we did is we added crowdfunding over an algorithm that we created. And this algorithm will define with every slide what's the drop that's going to happen to the customer that is sliding on that specific product. And the price will keep on dropping until a point when a customer would come and say, I'm comfortable with the price of that specific product and I want to buy it. We've been operational in the UK for the last 12 months. We have around $800,000 in revenue. We have 50,000 registered customers, registered users, 2,000 customers, whose 1.75% revenue return rate. The team, my name is Fouad Assaf. I'm a co-founder. I have more 20 years experience in the marketing and management fields. My co-founder, Marwan, is a financial consultant with research field. And the brain behind the algorithm is Victor Araman. He's an NYU and INSEAD professor, and he specialized in consumer price modeling. We're also surrounded by a wonderful team of UI/UX developers, growth hackers, and copywriters, and our operation manager who is with me today, Talal Shaib. So what's in it for us tomorrow? Tomorrow, we're going to expand into other e-commerce platforms. So the whole idea behind it is to make sure that this technology is within every e-commerce platform. Our revenue comes from the wholesale and from the sites themselves. We've already mentioned that we're in Euromoney, Yoha Finance, and we have a 9.7 rating on Trustpilot. We're raising today $3 million, and we already raised $2 million. Thank you very much.
Can you just help me understand, as a retailer,
yes,
what's in it for me? Is it just a discounting mechanism, or is it an arbitrage between the link that came in and the likelihood of converting it?
Yeah. So basically, what scientifically we call it is price discrimination, right? So as a retailer, you'll end up making an additional margin on top of the wholesale margin that you get from the brands. So that's the main point behind it. And the second point is you'll be able to compare data points, where you know what's the next discount you're going to do on a specific occasion, and you know that at what level your customers would be comfortable buying this specific line of products.
Come back to me.
Okay.
is there a limit when there's a company who works with you, they have a product and they are giving this for a cheaper price? Is there a limit, like they can just give you 500 of that phone or whatever, or they can sell whatever they want?
So actually, the technology will be embedded in their own e-commerce platforms, and they can sell as many points as there's no way you can lose on the product sale itself. You can lose on the operation, obviously, but you'll definitely make additional margin for every product you sell. So it's embedded within your own platform.
Yeah, and you already made money. How did you get that far? Like, what kind of online marketing or marketing you did?
So we did online marketing on Facebook, on Google AdWords, and we mainly did a funneling for retargeting. So the chunk of our money went towards building the customer database and mainly giving free credits because it's a new concept, right? So you want people to trust the system and believe in it, and usually they want to try it. So you give free credits for early adopters.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
When utilizing the Slidr, it's more about the data side of understanding where your market is than, because you can always, I mean, it's the same as discounting on the other side. I don't see a distinction, but as far as the data, are they then utilizing that automatically? Does it adjust the price?
Yes, so the algorithm will adjust its sliding price between one slide and another depending on 15 data points. For example, how many pieces you have in stock, how hot is the item, what's the wholesale discount, what's the retail price, how many people are sliding on the system, and it will adapt every end of the day. So.
And you have it tied into inventory too, so?
No, we're not.
Okay.
So we don't hold any inventory. The minute we sell the item, our supplier will drop ship it to the customer.
So how would you stop competitors using your platform as a, scraping information, use it as a pricing information platform for them?
Yeah, so basically the main barrier to entry is the algorithm itself, right? So if you want to copy the system, we spent around 2 years just developing the initial system, the model of the algorithm before we launched the item, and it's still work in progress. So this is a good barrier to entry. Now, scrapping the system cannot be done because for you to be able to slide, basically you have to register, get the credits, and then slide. And the code is done in a way that's called the black box, so there's no way you can scrap it. And even if you scrap it and put it on somewhere on the website, and you want to come back or tell the people that this item is at that price, if the item is sold at a specific moment in time, then the price will go back again to its initial price. So by the time you come back, most probably the price would have gone back to its initial price.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Slidr. And OPOPLAN, welcome on stage. Yep.
Hello, everybody. My name is Brian O'Brien, and I'm an architect, not of software or games, but of houses. And I'm here today to tell you that the design of our homes matters. It can improve our health, it can improve our mood, and yes, it can improve our lives. Designing your home should be one of the most important and positive times in your life, yet today, hundreds of people will walk into their just finished house and be disappointed. If they're part of the 90% of people that can't afford to go to an architect, they'll have got their home from an online service just like this. A design that, despite all the technology available, does not know where it is in the world, where the view is, or where the sun is. OPOPLAN is going to change all that. We're the world's first intelligent online design service for new homes. All of our designs come from architects that have designed homes for a site and family just like yours, and are then customized to become a specific design solution for your exact site and your exact family's way of living. We start by creating new software that takes your personal brief, starting with your site, the location, the specifics of view and sun, and moves on to ask details about your family. Numbers of people, your space and style preferences, goes on to the exact number of rooms that you want, and other kinds of qualitative questions like your budget. And delivers you a bespoke individual design that you can not just look at, but can become immersed in, and can explore and get to know fully before you buy or build. Our approach, because it's grounded in new technology, from BIM to 3D models to online mapping APIs and our own software, allows us to leapfrog over our competitors who are locked into a legacy of tens of thousands of paper designs and slow delivery systems. So we can deliver our product to our customers in these modern, data-rich and enjoyable formats. This allows us to occupy this niche where we are bespoke to a high level, but yet able to deliver our products as affordably as our competitors. The target available market is $2 billion annually, made up of the 70,000 custom home builders in the US who create 800,000 homes a year. Our business model is SaaS plus subscription. It's a SaaS subscription where our main revenue comes from small builders that are sticky and are our professional customers. This allows us to pursue this aggressive growth over the next 3 years. We have an amazing team made up of experts at the top of their field in technology, architecture, and commercialization. OPOPLAN is ready to launch, so please join with us as we make the world better, one house at a time.
How are you building in kind of recurring revenue? Are you assuming people use your service in stages or one-off, or are you advising them on how to do so as well?
So our customer is a builder who builds 7 or 8 houses a year in the US, and they subscribe and they get the designs which they then sell on to their customers. And they can mark them up, or they can have a certain number of designs on different subscription plans.
And does the system do all this automatically, or is there a person actually building
it's all automated.
It's all automated. So you just put the space you are, and it will tell you how many.
You put in a very qualitative brief,
Yeah.
which is just like going to an architect's office. I'm an architect of 20 years, so I've turned that into a piece of software, that experience, and then your design is generated from a combination of selecting the best design from our architects' designs that we host on a revenue sharing basis, and then customizing those to suit the customer's exact brief and site.
So who customizes them? I missed you there.
The algorithm and the software we just built.
Okay.
Okay, maybe that's a stupid question, but can I also customize it? So if I'm planning a house, can I do that?
No, the model is that it's just like going to an architect and you give us a really good brief and we give you 2 or 3 designs and you pick the best design that suits you.
What if I want to change something?
It's just like if you don't like the price that you get for a hotel, you go back out and change some of the
Okay.
settings and come back in.
Okay, I see. Thank you so much.
Okay.
What's the market size for small builders today utilizing online CAD tools?
Online CAD tools is many billions. We're not a CAD tool. We're a design delivery system.
How about that market?
That market, I don't know the size of it, but it is in the hundreds of billions, I would imagine.
So you don't see a resistance from small builders that want a personal relationship. If I'm building 6 to 10 homes a year,
Sure.
having a personal relationship with an architect, so as the home's being built, change orders, alterations, actually site visits, is
Sure.
that an obstacle to your business?
No, there's the world is divided. Our world is divided into 10% of people who can afford an architect, a number of percent of people that go to developers, and in between is 90% of people who want to do their own home with their own builder, but they can't afford to go to an architect. So that's where our service comes in.
And which part of the world are you focusing first? Because I saw that you are just launching now.
We're focusing on the US
On the
first.
US.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a very uniform market with a very cohesive set of builders that really they know what they do and they only do what they do, and they're in cohesive trade organizations, and we can get to them pretty easy.
Thank you.
Sorry, so are you selling to the builders or to the individuals who are designing the homes? Because if the builder, then he's paying for the architecture, he can afford it. Or if I'm building my own house, then I'll pay for an architect. So who's your client?
If you can afford an architect, you should get an architect. So I've been an architect for 20 years, and that's a great experience. But there's many people, 90% can't afford an architect, and they're now buying their designs online, and we're a much better service than what's currently there.
Yeah, but are you selling to the end consumer or to the builder?
We actually do both, but our business model is based on the builder as a SaaS subscriber. Now, an end customer can come along, and they can use the service as well, but they're a much more expensive customer for us, and they only come once, so we're not focusing on them. but it is available for them.
Okay.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. And we're going to our last but not least startup, Nuka. Welcome on stage. And they are pretty dressed up.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
My name is Nikita. I'm CEO of Nuka.
My name is Kateryna. I'm CMO of Nuka.
Why stationery market is great? Because it's really huge. Turnover of that market was more than $12 billion last year, only in the United States. But the main problem is that fabricators don't want to create something new. We have ordinary, simple stationery, and fabricators think that customer will buy it anyway. But we solved it. We create eternal stationery.
Our first product is a journal notebook. You can write and erase your notes as many times as you want. You can synchronize your handwriting in this notebook with our special mobile app. And this notebook is absolutely waterproof. Our second product is a journal pencil. You can use this pencil forever and it will never end. It's no sharpening needed, and it has very sexy design. Last month we won awards the best product design on Behance. From the start of our company, we tested a lot of different target audience, and we wanted to find the customers who will fall in love with our products like us, and we find it. It's creative ones. It's people who work in creative direction, who use stationery every day for their work and hobbies. And the main point is that this type of customers buy new stationery every week.
And we test them. With selling price $60 and cost price $6, one lead cost for us 86 cents. That means that they're really interested in our product and they really need it.
We got a lot of positive feedbacks on our social media for this target audience. They said that love our project. They asked when and where I can buy it.
And we got more than 2,000 pre-orders in 2 weeks of validation. And there's more than 60 million of people like that only in the United States. That's great potential market for us, $1.1 billion, and we can get 7% in the next 3 years with $1 million investment. Our business model includes 3 revenue streams. First one is to sell notebook and pencil online and in retail. Second one is to sell our special eraser, Nuka Magic Wipe. That will be our recurring revenue. For example, 7% of our potential market will buy 4 packs per year. That will be $9 million revenue stream. We do together with one of the biggest chemical household corporation in Europe, Biosphere. This is our partner in this revenue stream. And third one is mobile application with paid subscription features. For example, handwriting recognition. We do it together with software and hardware R&D corporation Conceptor.
You can see 2 our main competitors. The first one is Rocketbook. Yes, you can rewrite this notebook, but if you use only one type of pen. In our notebook, you can use any type of pen which you want. The second was in pen, napkin inkless pen. Yes, you can use this pencil for a long time, but it's not comfortable because of product design.
We will start selling our product in the next few days on a Kickstarter and start selling in Amazon in February next year. This is our team. Thank you very much. We sent 10 pencils in Stratosphere. You can visit our Instagram and see how it was. And we will create giveaway with these pencils, eternal pencil from the space. If you like our idea, you can visit our website and get some more information and put your email and get special price on a Kickstarter and get notified when we start our Kickstarter campaign. Thank you very much. Also, we will have a stand in Alpha Zone, Alpha Startup Zone, on 7 November.
Do you consider yourselves to be a product company or a brand company?
What?
Do you consider, are you a brand company or a product company?
I think both, because without product you can create a company, but without brand you can create a product.
But
so
we really want to build huge brand because we think it's very important in Savomoat.
So what's the ratio right now?
Right now we have a product which we want to create as a brand.
Okay.
Also, we have a working prototype.
Yes,
if you want, we can show.
That was my question. Can I try it?
Okay, of course.
I'm gonna wait. Okay. Okay, so I'm a writer and a journalist. I take notes every single day. My only problem is that I just don't have time to take always pictures and upload it to an app. How the app works? What can I do if I took a picture, the app has the picture, and how can I organize it, or can I do it?
Yes, you can do it because our idea is to create a lot of virtual notebooks because we use our notebook to create our plans for work, for hobbies, and this all information in one notebook. But in digital, in our mobile application, you can create 3 notebooks with your hobbies, with your work plans, with your plans, and scan and put this in this virtual notebook.
And also, it's very comfortable to send, for example, in PDF format to your friend. This notebook, it's okay in our mobile app.
And this is the only version, how it looks. That's the only way. Or are you planning to have it in a different format or colors?
Of course. Yes, that's a sample.
That's just a sample.
Yes.
Okay. And how much does it cost? I don't remember the price.
It starts from $60 for pack Eternal Pencil, Eternal Notebook, and pack of special magic wipe.
Okay. Can I try?
Yes, of course.
Last question. How big is that market right now?
Market of stationery?
No, electronic stationery.
That's not electronic stationery, but market of stationery is turnover of stationery market is $12 billion for last year.
Yeah, but I think people, this sits in the electronic space where you have to upload the information, or it's just a notepad industry.
That's a feature, but this is simple notebook, physical notebook that you can use with digital or without. Yes.
Digital expense, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nuka. All right. So now we are going to collect the results and calculate who's the winner. Hey, guys, can you collect the results now? And with that, first of all, let's all give a huge round of applause to all the startups participating. So I'd like to remind you guys that these are the best startups amongst all of Web Summit participants. One of these 8 startups will be selected to the quarter of finals. And from there, they're going to pitch tomorrow, and at the end, we're going to have one champion. So congratulations to all of them. And Pedro, are we getting the results soon? First of all, I know that we are calculating the results based on product, team, financials, potential of disruption, and the pitch itself. But disruption is an overused word. Can you guys help us say, how do you evaluate disruption in the case of the startups who pitched here? Matthew.
Clarity in identifying the problem and the delivery of how they're going to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, how much it can change the way we do things in that certain area. Yeah.
I look at the economic disruption as far as the potential of how much actual revenue can be generated by the solution.
How that can basically change the world or generate more jobs and stuff like that. Right. Eyal?
Yeah, I guess disruption is a bit of a silly term, right? Because I can just make a lot of noise and that'll be very disruptive. But looking at the companies, it's really how big, can this change an existing market? Can it transform an existing market by bringing something completely new and effectively replace an existing player?
Thank you all very much. So let's get started welcoming the startups on stage, and let's get some interaction between all of you. So a round of applause to all of them again, guys, please. So let's just have a show of hands in here. How many of you guys, let's just wait for everyone to be on stage. So let me remind you of all the startups here. We have CodeZero, Wagawin, Stacker, Orion, OCL, Slidr, OPOPLAN, and nuka. So who's fundraising in here? Okay, above $1 million? Okay. Who has already raised your first round? We have a very good batch in here, guys. Congratulations. And, whoa, have we got the results? That's amazing, just in time. Perfect, guys. Can I ask you guys for drum rolls? I know that's ridiculous, but let's do it. Drum rolls. And the winner for this round is Slidr. Congratulations. I'd like to thank all the startups. Thank you very much. Good luck with your startups. Thank you for being here. And most of all, thank you all the judges for being amazing judges. Again, thank you all for being present. Thank you, Nora, David, Eyal, and Matthew.